Mystery cloud throws Istanbul into darkness.
Okay, so that sounds familiar, right? Cloud of darkness. It said Istanbul had a cloud of darkness. Go ahead, go back.
The city of Istanbul was caught on video being thrust into nighttime in the middle of the day as a terrifying black cloud engulfed the sky.
Y'all crazy. Go ahead, read that.
The video, which has been shared on social media and amassed hundreds of thousands of views, shows the Turkish capital turning pitch black as a rolling cloud descended across the city on Tuesday. A cloud 7 kilometers thick passed over Istanbul. In the meantime, the sun disappeared in 5 minutes.
You see that? The sun disappeared in 5 minutes. Go ahead. Read on.
And the day turned into night. Some people commented on the apocalypse. The Turkish Meteorological Forum, Hava Forum, tweeted while sharing the video.
So my question is, how do they explain that? How do you explain what took place in Istanbul?
Bring it out.
What is it? The stars aligned and this happened at this moment?
No.
What do you say? That's how you know there is a God.
That's right.
But the beautiful thing is, he happens to be our God.
Bring it out.
And
Right.
none else. For blacks and Hispanics and Native American, he's our God. Could you go to the video footage on that real quick?
Bring it out.
On the darkness? Yeah. Pull it up. And this is midday. That's the middle of the day right there. And you see that pitch black.
Right. Egypt. They always say that reminds you how they say it's going to have to be. That how it was in Egypt.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Let's get that. Let's go to Exodus real quick. Exactly. Watch this.
The book of Exodus, chapter 10 and verse 19. And the Lord turned a mighty strong wind west, which
Read it again.
And the Lord turned a mighty strong west wind, which took away the locusts and cast them into the Red Sea.
Right. So obviously what Egypt was being plagued, right? All right. So it says he took away the locusts. Go ahead.
There remained not one locust in all the coasts of Egypt, but the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart so that he would.
So Pharaoh saw the plague of the locusts, but the Most High did what? He hardened his heart. Why? Because give me hold on one sec. I want to make a point. This is what the world needs to understand.
Right.
The Most High, he controls everything, and he controls mankind.
That's right.
Understand that thing. He puts spirits on these nations to move at his will. So his glory can be perfected.
Right.
Revelations 4 and 11.
That's all right.
Watch this. Revelation chapter 4 and verse 11. Watch this, y'all.
The book of Revelation, chapter 4 and verse 11.
Go ahead.
Thou art worthy, O Lord, to receive glory and honor and power, for thou hast created all things. And for thy pleasure.
And for thy what?
For thy pleasure.
For thy what?
Thy pleasure.
God created everything on the earth.
That's right.
He created the trees. He created the animals, the different bodies of water, the firmament. He created everything. But the most important thing that a lot of people miss is that he didn't create it for you.
Right.
He didn't create it for no other thing except for what? His pleasure.
That's right.
Read.
And for thy pleasure they are and were created.
It says, for thy pleasure they were and are created. So when it comes to nations like the Egyptians, when it comes to nations like the Moabites or the Chinese today, when it comes to nations like the Edomites or the Caucasians today, understand, it was never about you. You were created for one purpose and one purpose only, to please God.
That's
right.
And some of y'all are fit for destruction. That's what you got to understand.
Right.
Just like these Egyptians right here. And we're going to talk about these Egyptians later on during the war report.
Bring it out.
We're going to talk about those same Egyptians. Please remind me about that.
Right.
All right, so go back to where we was at in Exodus 10.
The book of Exodus, chapter 10 and verse 20.
Come on.
But the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart.
Right, the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart. Why? Because he wanted to show his might upon the earth. God wanted to show which nation he chose and who he was with. Go ahead.
So that he would not let the children of Israel go.
He wouldn't let us go. Even after the plague of locusts, that's why we started up. Right? Even after he just saw that plague, he said, nah, I'm still going to harden his heart so I can send this next plague. Go ahead.
And the Lord said unto Moses, stretch out thine hand toward heaven, that there may be darkness over the land of Egypt.
He said, stretch out their hands towards where?
Towards heaven.
That's the skies. That's what he's talking about. That heaven's talking about the skies. We just saw it. Hey, pull up play that video one more time in Istanbul.
Bring it out.
Play that again. Look at the skies. This is the heavens he's talking about right there.
Damn!
You see,
Pitch black.
that's the hand of God.
That's right. Bring it
You
on.
can't explain that no other way. No other way. Hold on. Give me the one in 2nd Ezra 16, so y'all can understand. They say that's not Egypt. Okay. 2nd Ezra chapter 16, I believe it's 37. Let me get there with you. Yep, read that. Read down to 39. Watch this.
The book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 16, verse 37.
Come on.
Behold, the plagues draw nigh, and are not slack. And when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, within 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb. Which pains, when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment.
Right, this is talking about contractions. Those are the great pains right there. So as we get closer to the day, they mentioned in an article, they said the apocalypse. So as we get closer to the return of the Lord, guess what we're going to start seeing? We're going to start seeing these plagues increase and increase. And guess what? That's one of the literal plagues that we just read in that happened in Egypt in Exodus. Go ahead.
Verse 39. Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth.
Right, not just Egypt again, but upon the whole earth. Read that again.
Right.
Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth.
Read.
And the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side.
Sorrow. Think about you just walking midday and then it just turned pitch black. Bruh, those are those fearful sights. Wow. Like you read in the book. Yeah, fearful. You read in Wisdom of Solomon.
Lord,
you
have
read,
mercy.
was it Luke 21? You understand? That's what that's going into.
Like Cap, even buildings that had lights on, you couldn't even see.
Right,
Like they
right.
disappeared. Like even with lights on, you couldn't see nothing. That's how God described it in Egypt.
Like the officer said, Wisdom of Solomon goes more in detail about what happened in Exodus 10. Hey, do me a favor, play that clip one more time so the people can see the hand of God one more time, and we go back to Exodus.
And you know that's right.
So you say midday, turn straight into darkness. Let's give it up for the Most High right there. That's a beautiful thing right there.
That's right.
All praises.
That's right.
That's all right. That's all right. Let's go back to Exodus 10:21. Finish that off, please.
Exodus chapter 10, verse 21.
Go ahead.
And the Lord said unto Moses, stretch out thine hand toward heaven.
Come on.
That there may be darkness over the land of Egypt, even darkness which may be felt.
Even darkness which may be felt. You know what that feeling's talking about? That's talking about fear.
Right.
That's talking about you sitting in a room that you thought you was by yourself. Now you're feeling wind go past your face.
Oh, yes. Right.
Now you're hearing the sound of wild beasts, but you don't know where they at. That's what you're gonna feel that darkness, and you're gonna feel that sensation come upon your body, your ligaments, your loins. That's the power. Only God can do that thing right there.
Right.
All praise to the Father. Drop.